What's up, everybody? Today I'm taking a look at The Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. This book is a classic, and I mean that in the best sense and also the worst. In the best sense, you can see how Wyndham's opening sequence of a man waking up to a world gone wrong around him inspired a generation of horror and zombie flicks such as 28 Days Later and Dawn of the Dead. His exploration of an unraveled world due to blindness is a grimly realized post apocalyptic vision that really haunts you. Even if his plant based baddies, just like the veggies in my diet, seem woefully underused. In the worst sense, this book feels horribly dated. On pages 46, 53, and 56, both the protagonist and his female companion casually defend or accept possible rape and date rape situations. And further on in the book, the idea is expressed that women just want babies anyway, and the man that provides it doesn't really matter. This stuff doesn't offend me. I'm pretty much impossible to offend. It just makes me roll my eyes, and I really don't enjoy this kind of hackneyed writing. The social commentary against feudalism, supporting objectivism, and rallying against altruism wasn't that thought provoking or inspiring to me as well. But maybe it wasn't meant to be. Perhaps it was just meant to show how quickly the world can devolve with the removal of social constructs, and how, when survival is at stake, hard decisions will follow. I also didn't love Wyndham representing humanity as quitters. There are countless true stories of the insane relentlessness human beings demonstrate when their lives are at risk. And yet, here, people are offing themselves left and right. On page 69, you have a couple that romantically jump out of the window of their apartment building together just because it's going to be too hard to find food in the future. They're not even starving yet. And previous to that, we read about a husband drinking himself to death because his wife blew herself and the kids up. Now, there's no explicit timeline to these events, but they do feel like they're way too early in the game, possibly just weeks after the cataclysm. Look, I'm sure going blind in a world that is falling apart would be a terrifying experience, but I'm just not buying that everyone would be cartwheeling off buildings and diving onto crocodiles just because they think things are going to be tough. Wyndham does create an unsettling sense of tension and dread with his words, especially in the opening sequence. But my copy certainly could have used another pass from the editor, as there were multiple errors, not just typos, but in sentence structure as well. I think I came into this book expecting more of a Little Shop of Horrors, feed me Seymour creature feature, but in this band, the titled Triffids play second fiddle. They are always there in the background, lurking quietly. No matter how much juice you try to squeeze from these plants, they remain like the boyfriend you broke up with in high school after you realized you couldn't change him. Wow, it must seem like I really didn't like this book, but I did like it. I just didn't love it. And I'm a bit of a complainer, if you haven't noticed already. Is this your first time visiting my channel? So take this all with a Red Sea serving of salt. I'll end this review with a nod to one of my favorite hip hop albums, Things Fall Apart by The Roots. Possibly my favorite idea from this book, represented by a quote found on the bottom of page 93. You know, one of the most shocking things about it is to realize how easily we have lost a world that seemed so safe and certain. Hopefully, you enjoyed the review. If you've read this book, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you next time on Ransom Reviews.